You as a father, the decisions you make every day, how you decide to live your life has an infinite impact on the people around you. It's not just you and you. It's you and then foremost your family. They're watching you every single day. They're deciding how they're going to live their life. And then people watch them live, and then people watch them live. You show your son how to be a father. He shows his son how to be the father. And it just keeps on going. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Rising Father podcast. I'm Chris Rodack. I'm day 4 into my fast. And right now, I feel pretty good. Last podcast, I was day 3. And I said I was feeling pretty good in the morning. And as the day went on, I got worse and worse. I had good moments and bad moments. I would feel great, energized, clear-headed, peaceful, wise. And then I would feel really hungry, and all those thoughts of, why am I doing this came. Like, why am I doing this? And last night was rough. I went to sleep hungry. My stomach was kind of burning, was churning and growling, and I did not get a good sleep. I even went to sleep early, and I bought this new weighted blanket. So I said, oh, this is going to be the best sleep ever. And I could not just fall asleep. My body had this like weird buzzing feeling. Eventually, I went to sleep, and then I woke up, and I thought to myself, please, God, let it be 4 a.m. so I could just go to the gym and start my day. Because I didn't want to just lay there for hours. I looked at my clock. It was 11:30 p.m. I said, damn it, I only laid here for a couple hours. So then it took me another 20, 30 minutes to go back to sleep, which I eventually did, and slept in, woke up at like 6 because my wife didn't have to go to the gym. But I eventually went back to sleep, then went to the gym. Didn't do much at the gym because, I've got nothing in my muscles right now, but I did some cardio. I did my regular workout routine, but went lighter on the weights because I don't want to harm my muscles, but still went to the gym because that's one of my non-negotiables. I did that, and I'm extending it to the 4th day, and then I'm going to extend it to our brotherhood call tonight, which is at 8:30 p.m. tonight. So 6:30 will be a full 4 days, and then we'll see how I feel. I'll most likely go into tomorrow and make it a 5th day. Because once you get to the night, just go to sleep and get those bonus hours. Sleeping is like the bonus fasting hours. You're gonna be asleep not eating anyway. Why not just add it to your fast? And I used to do intermittent fasting for a while when that was hot. When Dr. Rhonda Patrick was on the Rogan podcast, and she talked about intermittent fasting, and like all of a sudden fasting was the rage. And I did it too for probably, I don't know, 6 months to a year, something like that. I did 18-hour intermittent fasting every day, like 16 to 18 hours, where for 16 to 18 hours I wouldn't eat in that small window, and then I would fast again. And it felt good, helped me lose weight, and I think it had some benefits. But now I eat all day. I work out at 4. I get home by 5:15. I have a protein shake at 5:15, and I eat all the way until dinner time. And then I leave a couple hours before I go to sleep. So I started this fast right after I was used to eating 5, 6, 7 meals a day, like every couple hours eating. So that's why that first day was so rough. But now I just feel normal. And it comes in phases. I'll have, I feel good now. In an hour, I might get some crazy hunger pangs and be like, oh my God, I got to wait all day for this, and be thinking about that. And I'll have those thoughts. And then it might go away. I'm hoping it goes away, but also kind of hoping it doesn't, because the reason I'm doing this is to practice suffering and practice being happy. For whatever reason, I have felt myself smiling more during this fast. Like throughout the day at the gym this morning, I was just smiling at everyone. I normally, when it's that early, I'm not smiling that much. I try to be the first one to say hello to people, but sometimes I'm just tired. But this morning, did not feel tired. I felt great, and I was smiling, talking to people, and I don't know why. Maybe that's a side effect. But I feel good right now, and it might change, and I'm okay if it changes, because that's why I'm doing this, is whenever it gets rough, to still be myself. Like whenever the pain comes, for me to still smile, for me to still show up for my family, and not let this take me down. So I'm on day 4. I'll let you know if I go to day 5. Check into the Rising Father Instagram. I'm posting updates and everything in my stories and all my content about this fast. So if you want to follow along there. But yeah, so day 4, and a guy at the gym this morning who I didn't know followed me at all just said, "Hey man, you still fasting?" I was like, "Yeah, still fasting." And I didn't know he followed Rising Father, and apparently he does, and he wanted to talk to me about his time fasting. And I said, "Yeah, it's just a mental battle." And I said, "Yes, it is. It's just your thoughts within your thoughts." So we talked a little bit about how he fasted. He said he did up to a 7-day fast, which I've never done. The most I've ever done is 5 days. It's kind of 4.5. I ended on the 5th day, and then we went out to eat for dinner. So most I've ever done is a 4.5-day fast. So that will be tomorrow. If I wake up tomorrow morning, that'll be a 4.5-day fast. If I make it to 6:30, that'll be a full 5 days. We'll see what happens. But one of the things he said was it's just a constant battle in your brain. And that's really what it is. Especially, I work from home. My kids, the family, they're all gone for 8, 9 hours a day. It's just me and you guys. And the food upstairs and my little dog running around. So I got to feed him. But it was easier before when I did my 5-day fast because I was working at a job where I was on my feet all the time. As a teacher, I was running around, putting out fires, I was teaching kids. I was always on my feet running around, so I was distracted. Now, at any point in the day, I can just walk upstairs, open the fridge, and grab something. Like there's food everywhere. It's for the most part pretty healthy food. Our kids aren't on the Rising Father diet yet. They're not on the macro plan yet, but they still eat some kid foods. Like we got a bag of Doritos up there. My kids still have some Doritos for lunch sometimes. We got hot dogs. We have mac and cheese. We got foods that kids eat, and it's just all sitting out. And I don't know if I said this on the last podcast or not, but I think it was last night or the night before, I had a really rough time. I was like really, really hungry. It was right before bed. And my son ate a Belvita package of crackers, a package of Belvita crackers. And those are my favorite, man. Those blueberry Belvita crackers are so damn good. And he ate half the package and just left the other half of the package out. He does that sometimes. So just open crackers right on my nightstand waiting for me. And so badly, I wanted to grab those damn crackers and eat them because I could smell them. I walked up the stairs and I could smell those things. They smelled so good. And I left them next to my nightstand. I said, "This was really good." This is, it's like putting more weight on the bench press. It's like saying, "No, yeah, I just did 225. Let's see if I can do 235. Let's leave those crackers out. Let's strengthen that muscle of resisting the thing that you want." So I left them out there, didn't eat them, and then have continued. But it's been a real lesson learner this fast. And then plus a lot of guys who are following along with my social media are now saying, "Yeah, I want to do a fast too. I want to do a fast. I want to try that." Ask me questions about it. And like I said, I was inspired by another guy who I watched doing it, and then I'm doing it. Now I'm inspiring other guys. We talk about our impact being infinite a lot in my program on our calls. We talked about you as a father, the decisions you make every day, how you decide to live your life has an infinite impact on the people around you. It's not just you and you. It's you and then foremost your family. They're watching you every single day. They're deciding how they're going to live their life. And then people watch them live, and then people watch them live. You show your son how to be a father. He shows his son how to be the father. And it just keeps on going. But just in this example of fasting, like a guy in my group started fasting, so I started fasting. And then a bunch of other guys in my group started fasting. And now tons of people on social media who follow me are fasting. So the guy who started fasting, he decided to rise. He decided to build himself and do something great. And all of a sudden, boom, who knows how many people are doing this great health thing for themselves because of this one guy's decision. You don't know how many people you're impacting. And the thing that's keeping me going is that if this was just about me and my 3-day goal, I hit it last night, whatever, I hit my goal. But now more and more people are saying they're watching me and they're saying, "Man, I've always wanted to fast. Keep going." And they're saying, "I've always wanted to fast. I want to do that too." Man, they're so excited about it. They're asking me questions and they're getting inspired from it. And like my wife is asking me a lot about it. My son every day comes home from school. He's like, "Dad, are you still fasting?" Like it's really impressive to him that I'm just not eating because they eat we all eat like 2 to 3 hours. And especially as a little kid, food's a big deal to you. So now the fasting isn't really about me anymore. The fasting is about keeping people inspired, whoever's watching. So now it's easier for me. Now I have a calling, I have a purpose greater than myself to continue to suffer like this because I want to help other people. Like I'll go into the fifth day. I'm making no promises, guys. I'm not saying I'm going to go, 30 days in the desert or anything like that. I'm just saying I'll make it through tonight, most likely go till tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens. I'm already past my goal of 3. I'll most likely eat tomorrow around lunchtime. We'll see. Or even maybe eat breakfast tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen. But because the purpose now is greater than myself, the thoughts that I usually have that would tell me to quit are shoved down. And there's a reason I'm saying this. So I have a purpose for fasting. I have a purpose for suffering greater than myself. So now I am more likely to continue, and I want to continue. And the voices in my head that are telling me to stop are much weaker than the purpose I have for continuing and to continue to suffer. Because the voices that are telling me to stop are, you're hungry, you've already proved to yourself you can do it, why continue? It doesn't make any sense. You're hurting yourself, you're losing muscle, all these things. But the purpose for continuing is you're inspiring people. People are watching you. You're getting other people to fast. And I stupidly only started talking about this on day 3. I should have talked about it on day 1. I could have helped more people. But now it's day 4, and more people are watching and saying they're going to start. Like I've got all messages from a ton of guys who've been saying, I've been thinking about doing this. I've been thinking about doing this. I've been thinking about doing this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this. Now all these people are fasting. And it's a thing now. So there's a purpose greater than myself. Now here's why I say that. Whenever you choose to rise as a man, as a father, as a husband, you choose to dig into yourself, cut the bad things out, add the good things, go to the gym, wake up earlier, push yourself harder than ever before. Whenever you choose to do that, it is easy to slip back into your old patterns and old habits because we talk ourselves out of things. I'm on calls with guys all the time. They want to join the program, and they saw a post that motivated them, and that post spoke to them, spoke truth to them, which is why they filled out the application, called, did research, all that kind of stuff. And then, they have a call, and some guys decide to join us. Other guys don't. Some guys, during the call, it gets real for them, right? It gets real for them. It's different than looking at an Instagram post, talking to a stranger across the world about the things that are holding you back. And okay, here's some real action steps we can take to change your life. Here's an actual plan laid out. Now it's time to do it. Like we went from thinking and talking to doing. We're not just thinking anymore. Now it's action time. And most guys are stuck in the thinking and planning stages of their life, and they never get out. Many guys never get out of that. They're just constantly thinking, constantly planning. The world keeps turning. Their kids get older. Their wife gets older. Opportunities pass them by, and they're still thinking about it. If you ever watch, I'm really into Lord of the Rings right now. Because my son is super into it. So we're buying all these Hobbit books, Lord of the Rings books. So there's these creatures called Ents, for me to get nerdy on you. And the Ents are these trees that are living trees, and they're the oldest living things on Earth. On Middle Earth is what they call it in the Lord of the Rings. So these giant ancient tree creatures, they talk and they're wise, and they're just thousands and thousands of years old. And I believe they're older than the wizards or the old. Gandalf in the book says they're the oldest living things on Middle Earth. And they have these meetings where all the Ents come together and they talk about the problems of the world and how they should solve them. But Tolkien, the author of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, says that he kind of gives them a character flaw in that they take so long to decide to do something that they get nothing done. I think he said their meetings take years. Like they'll say, okay, there's a crisis here, there's a war happening, they'll get together, and their meeting could take like multiple years. and they squabble and they just think about it and they continue to think and ponder. And by the time they've come up with a solution, there's no need for their meeting in the first place. And some guys are like that. They get motivated, they get excited, they think about doing something, they think about losing weight, they think about going to the gym, and then they're like, oh, well, what gym should I go to? I've got 10 gyms around me. Let's research to find the absolute best gym. Let's look about the best way to get to the gym. Now, what should I do about the membership? It's too expensive, too cheap. I want to be around these kind of people. There's not around those kind of people. And they just think and think and think. And, months have then passed. And all they had to do is just get down and do some push-ups, do some pull-ups, start doing some squats, just get moving. But they just think and think and think about it and not take any action. Because things have to be perfect, like the situation has to be perfect for them to act. There's that whole perfectionist thing, instead of just moving and acting. Just saying, I need to do this. This is a need I have. I'm just going to do something. It does not have to be perfect. Good is better than perfect. If good moves you and perfect means inaction, good is better than perfect. Does not have to be perfect. So guys will message me to bring it all back, and they'll say, I was thinking about doing a fast. Like, good. Now do it. That's what I'm telling guys. I say, just do it. Just start today. Start right now. Don't eat anything else. Drink a lot of water, have some electrolytes, have some black tea, black coffee. Even if you want to add other things in, whatever. There's a bunch of different ways to do fasts. People have told me, yeah, I've done a fast before. I eat smoothies all day. A smoothie fast. Well, okay. I don't know if that's a fast. It's kind of a smoothie diet. We have Smoothie King down the road. I can get a 1,500 calorie peanut butter smoothie if I want. It's not really fasting. I would love to have a smoothie right now. No, if that's you, don't worry about it. I'm not ragging on you. But there's different kind of fasts. I've got beef broth up there. I would love to have some beef broth right now. It's very low calorie, but it would technically break my fast. So I can't have that. So even if you want to do a partial fast, maybe you say, hey, I'm going to have only liquids today. Like, I'm going to go 24 hours and just have liquids. Sure, that can be a fast. It can be just a different diet. It won't be bad for you. Obviously don't drink pop for 24 hours. Have tea and good liquids for yourself. Vegetable juices, whatever you want to make yourself feel good. That's healthy. Consume those, but prove to yourself that you can live differently. Maybe for the past decade, you've been eating 3 giant meals a day, like 4,000 calories, and not moving. Maybe just prove to yourself today that you can live differently. And it doesn't have to be by doing what I'm doing. Do your own thing. And then, after you've proven to yourself that you can live differently, other windows will open up. You'll see new opportunities that you didn't see before because you've just proven to yourself that you can do that. So because you've proven to yourself you can do something differently, you'll see a lot of different opportunities arise after that. So if you want to do something like a fast or just something different, don't wait for the perfect time. Just jump into it, go all in, make some mistakes, and just trust that if you make a mistake, if you fail, you can just dig yourself out of it. You got it, guys.